to another edition of My Life Continues Everyday podcast. I am Amanda Elu, and this is the season, what again? I still have not found the season, but this is episode 3 of this particular season. Happy New Year again and again. I keep saying it to you. I'm Amanda Elu. Let's go on this break. When we return, I'll continue for the day.
My life.
My life.
My life will continue every day.
My life continues every day.
Well, my life continues every day.
We move. My life continues every day with Amanda Elu.
Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Cha from Capsule FM in Nairobi, Kenya, and you're listening to My Life Continues Everyday podcast with Amanda Elu.
So, today I want to, talk about something that has happened to me. This is me being vulnerable, but I think I should bring it on because, like I would always say on this podcast, I want you to know you're not alone, and to I'm hoping also that we get solutions to our problems. I don't want us to just, grovel in our pains, in our sorrows, prayers, move. I just wanted to say this and ask, have you ever been in a situation where you realize that something about you has changed? Positively, negatively. Let's talk about the negative. Something about you has changed and it's not okay. It's not going well, and it's almost making you lose good things, but it's happening. Has it ever happened to you? Today I want to talk about patterns. I have a friend who does not like that I talk patterns. He's always telling me, why are you always relating this to that to this? I've realized that when you relate this to that to this, so long as you're not overdoing it and you're not obsessed with such details, and that the aim is to be intentional, to not let it happen again, as much as it is within your power as a human being. I think studying patterns in your life, in your family's history and all of that is very important, even in your academics, because if you don't study it, and that's why people say keep a documentary. I believe My Life Continues Every Day is also a kind of documentary for me. I listen to some of the things that have happened in the past, and I know that I've made certain kind of growth. On Facebook, on Instagram, I post some of the events I go to, the things I host and stuff. Not necessarily because I want to show myself. Oh my God, I love the likes. I'm not even going to lie. Come on, I love the likes, I love the comments and stuff. Sometimes, I mean, it's not just it. Some days I'm tired, I don't want to put it out. But then I tell myself, document it, put it out there. That's it. If you can write. I hardly write, but I post that one and I hope I begin to write more often. Somebody has said it. So if you can hear this, document things. It will help you study patterns. Why did I say studying patterns are important? Now let's go back to what I said at the beginning of this podcast. You might have noticed something that has changed in you. You are gradually beginning to enjoy some arguments. When you come on social media and somebody is bashing the gender that is not yours. I'm a woman now, and then I'm giving an example. I come on social media and somebody is bashing men for what they do. Deep down, I want to read that thing. You're just interested in that thing that is against men. And with the way social media is going these days, it's easy for us to become enemies without even knowing it all. It's gradually seeping in. And that's why we're being told to be careful the things we listen to, the things we consume, because whether you know it or whether you like it or not, these things are making you. This is beginning to be part of your content. This is a composition. This is your composition, right? So when people touch you, this is what comes out of you, because this is what you've swallowed in. You swallow it in and then give it out at the end of the day. And then if you don't manage it well, you give it out wrongly, and there's a problem in the world. So you go on social media and you're beginning to enjoy arguments against women. If anything happens, women, we're gradually getting to that point. Or you who's listening might actually check yourself. Well, are you beginning to enjoy it when it is only one gender that is being bashed, insulted, Or are you beginning to enjoy it whenever it is ethnic rivalry? I'm from Nigeria, and the thing about ethnicity is a big deal for us. So I'm talking about it, and if you're Nigerian, you know this. Do you now love it so much that whenever we have a conversation, somebody must always try to drag it down to tribe? I understand some tribes have been cheated, some others have been, uplifted more than others, or whatever the English is, or deified. Some of the tribes have been deified more than others. I know. But then, are we not looking beyond? Let's not talk about it though, but let's look beyond, the whole and check the part. Why did I say this? Yes, I'm from Nigeria. I know that there are certain tribes, there are some ethnic groups that are just, God knows it's not been okay for them from the inception of this Nigeria. God knows it's been a problem. It's been a problem. And some of them know. But I've also met people from other ethnic groups who have been good, who have been kind, even because people will tell you it is when conflict arises that you would know a person's true behavior. Part of what I want to talk about today too. But I've also, in the midst of conflict, have these people had my back, people from other ethnic groups. Am I now going to generalize the entire thing on them? Should I rub it in their face that I'm from the Igbo tribe? I want to say it here because I'm Igbo. I'm from the Igbo tribe. Therefore, who are you? Whatever, keep it to yourself. It's not necessary. If you want to now talk in a place where people are underrating you and you want to talk of yourself with pride, I understand. That is you doing the self-confidence thing and, your self-esteem upliftment. That's totally okay, But I'm talking of wherever you enter, you want to make it clear that your tribe is the best. I'm the Hausa person. And so now let me ask you listening, are you beginning to enjoy these things? This banter, and we call it cruise. Are you also beginning to enjoy certain talks about marriage? When people say marriage is not this, I'm a fan of marriage, you all know this by now. Are you beginning to enjoy it when you come online and people are bashing married people? Are you liking it now when it's seeming like almost every marriages are ending in divorce? So you now have check yourself. You probably are beginning to, without even knowing it, love things that ordinarily we called people monsters for. Because what's the difference between you and that extremist? You are a step away from being an extremist. You are a step away from being that person you abhor. Now, why am I saying this? Something happened in my life in 2019. Something happened in my life. It affected me so much that I was so frustrated. And half of the time, when I say I'm not exaggerating, in a day, there are 24 hours. For 18 hours, I am in pain. Emotionally, physically, emotionally. I began to be very used to pain. No, that's not the word. If you're used to pain, you might be able to be numb to pain. That's not the word. I got too familiar with pain and distress and frustration, I got too bitter. Let me not avoid the word bitter. Yes, I got too bitter. I noticed something changed in me. And I'm saying this so that if you meet me and I'm not making excuses, but I'm telling you, I know I'm an outspoken person. I was created to be outspoken. I'm a very expressive person. I also talk. I am that person. I'm that president woman, that woman who talks and then my voice is everywhere. I was created a thespian. You don't need a microphone to talk. I am that person. But after what happened to me in 2019, I realized that I snap easily now. I have little patience for things. And it has affected me in so many areas of my life. I have a particular friend who, when we're talking these days, what he does is he's always, take your voice down. He's always doing that thing. So I feel embarrassed whenever he does it. But I also understand he's trying to help me. And I'm making conscious effort to not feel embarrassed when he does it. To understand he's teaching me not to be loud. No, I'm not talking about being bold. Because when I'm bold, because I want to be heard. He explained it to me later. He said, Amanda, I think why you sound like this. No, don't worry. I'm not taking offense because I've been with you for some time. And when we're having a disagreement, I hear the way you talk. And if I've not studied it, I would say, this girl is too loud. I can't be with her. She's so angry. I listen to what you're saying and I understand you're saying exactly what you can say without shouting and it will make perfect sense. But you're trying so hard to be heard. You want to be heard. And so I let you talk. So what I do now when I'm arguing with you, that's what my friend said, when I'm arguing with you is when I notice you're in that element, that's your element, I keep quiet. So you understand that even if you don't shout, and thank God you begin to take cognizance of this, when you don't shout, I can hear you. I also try not to have arguments with you over the phone anymore because it gets you, but when I'm with you, I'm closer so you can. So when when you talk, I hear you. It hasn't changed it all completely, but it has helped you. And that's the truth. And I noticed it. And it's the truth. I studied it too. Up until now. It's still ongoing, but by God's grace, it's getting better. That thing happening. It made me bitter. And when I talk, I snap quickly. I'm yelling. I am making conscious effort now to stop it. When you meet me and I'm like this to you, please don't get too offended. I'm not making excuses because I'm not the only person who's gone through whatever it is that happened to me. I should be able to put myself together. Come on, I have people. And I'm saying this so that I could listen to this again and remind myself that is a messed up attitude. I yell a lot. But I'm making sense, but I yell. Patterns. I studied it and I connected it to 2019 and I realized it was pain that made me begin to sound like this. What is that pattern that you need to study in your life? Because you need to study it and it would help you know how to be intentional about certain habits that you're beginning to have. Are you beginning to enjoy banter that denigrate a certain gender because a certain gender has hurt you so much? You may want to go make peace with the person who began this first. You may also want to go and study other people of that gender and see that there are good people. I hope you meet good people. I hope you meet people who would make you understand that not all ethnic groups in Nigeria are, or all of the stereotypes have coded all ethnic groups in Nigeria. There are persons who are not like that in the positive sense. And yes, the truth is evil will always exist on earth. It will. But may we prevail and may we not be it. Because if you look carefully, you may just be one of the monsters you're fighting. Pray that you don't become what you fight against. Pray that you don't become so absorbed in it that you are giving off the same vibe. Like I would always say and like I've heard, man is capable of every evil you've heard on earth. You don't even need a demon to possess you. You are capable of evil. Things have happened to me and I've seen myself fall and do things and I say, oh, wow, so you are capable of this, Amanda? No, you are infallible. You can fall at any time, and so be careful how you also judge people and do not be too harsh. I've said so many things, but I think you get it. Also, study that pattern in your family, that thing that they know your family for that is not positive. It would come for you. It will come for you, but be very intentional. Say, no, I want to break this chain. But if you don't study the pattern, you will not know. And some days you'd be like, I don't like that I'm doing this. Was it St. Paul who said, I find myself doing the things that I do not want, right? So yeah, I think it's a struggle. But if you learn, if you pay attention to patterns, they may just help you. But do not be obsessed by patterns so much that you dwell in the past. No. But study it, because if you know where it's coming from, you may just know how to solve it. Study it and find out why you're beginning to drink so much. Study it and find out why you now love people, noise. Is it because you're afraid of your own thoughts? Is it because you're afraid of facing the bad you've done to people? Maybe you want to make peace with yourself for real. It may take time. Pray you find the courage. But make peace with yourself and that situation. And study that pattern and break the chain. Because that's what you need for your liberation. So that you don't become just the monster you fight against. Thank you for listening to me. Sometimes it might just not be fixed immediately. But be intentional. Pray about it. And who knows? It might be fixed in your lifetime. Thank you. God bless you. And yes, that's it for today on My Life Continues Everyday podcast. I hope you enjoyed yourself. Till we meet again, God bless you. May His angels protect you. I'm Amanda Elu. Let people know about this podcast.
I got you. I'm living a good life. No stress and no strife. Every day I keep moving up. Monday to Sunday, steady balling. If you can be one,